Adeboyega, a nice uptick in the market yesterday, as I said, almost 0.5% gain there. But of course, that comes on the back of the sharp sell-off that we're seeing. Do you see some stability coming to the market now? Would you say this is a turnaround in sentiment?
Well, I'm not going to say it's a turnaround yet. I think it's still a bit too early for that. There must be some signs of whatever performances or actions are going to be taking in the Eurozone. Because essentially, we all know quite well the reason for the sell-off, the reason for the dip we've seen in the market in recent times. But I certainly do expect that perhaps by the end of this month to early November, there will be some stability in the index. Because right now, a good number of the stocks are actually undervalued.
Foreign investors, of course, are key to the market, often accounting for around 70% of the day's trade. To what extent have they liquidated their positions in Nigerian equities?
Well, over the past 120 days, the drop in terms of what the foreign investors are holding, that class of investors, dropped by about 10%. Because about 3-4 months ago, the statistics showed about 60% of the stocks were held by foreign investors. That's down to about 50 now. And we're going to be watching that closely, really, because it's a pretty good sign of what exactly is happening in terms of sell-offs.
Let's take a look at some of the sectors that traded yesterday lower. The consumer sector struggling to gain any traction. PZ Cousins are falling back to 28 Naira 75 kobo. That's off its 2011 high of just over 43 Naira there. But you still have it as a buy on your books. What's that assessment based on? Well,
clearly, yes, you're right. That sector has dipped, and there are signs that it just may still dip. But you want to look at the 52-week range of most of those stocks in the food and beverages or the conglomerate sector. And you realize that the company themselves have fundamentals. They're trading pretty much below their, particularly PZ, trading pretty much below its 52-week range high. And that tells me something, that it's still possible for that stock to reach that target. Certainly that's a buy I would like to recommend.
Nestle Nigeria missing fourth quarter estimates for profit of some analysts are coming out saying it expects 2.67 billion naira for the fourth quarter, but it's also a consumer stock with a wide product range. Is this a company that you'd be adding to your portfolio and considering a defensive stock in light of the volatility?
Well, yeah, Nestle is particularly a leader in its field. And that announcement 3 days ago was pretty much taken because the company does have the kind of products, it has the range, and it has the distributive capacity to meet those results. However, it's highly priced. It's one of the few stocks we have on the market that's trading at about $2 per share if you convert it to dollars.
Yeah.
So for those who are holding that stock in their portfolio right now, it certainly is a hold.
So what level would you be looking to buy into the stock? Because currently, as you said, trading at 401 Naira, it's year high 470. Where would you see a buying opportunity?
Well, it's just a matter of if that is available at all. Again, it's one of those stocks that does not have a high liquidity. It's one of those stocks that are pretty much sought after by investors. And if I were to check up in terms of what sort of deals and volumes are going on that stock, you'll find out that it's pretty low. What with that announcement being made 3 days ago, I expect that a lot of investors will be holding on to that stock because of the corporate actions to expect early next year.
Flourmills Nigeria has aggressive growth plans and looking to raise a 28.28 billion naira from existing shareholders in order to fund its cement and food business, also indicating that it might be looking to partner in a joint venture to grow across the African continent. What do you take of these developments?
Well, that's pretty much positive. Flourmills, as you well know, they have an interesting range actually, because they got cement on the one side and they've got flour, pasta and spaghetti on the other side. And these are, well, essentially food and construction. The opportunities along West Africa and other parts of Africa are pretty much clear. The cement sector, as you well know, is beginning to get pretty much competitive with Lafarge, WAPCO and Dangote playing in there. They need to ramp up their position. They need to play it pretty well. Dangote flour is actually also doing some noodles now. So that's actually competition for flour mills too. This is the time to ramp up. This is the time to expand their capacity. And because they know they need to stay ahead of their competition.
What type of performance do you see on the stock ahead of this rights issue?
Well, it will probably be, it's a stock a lot of investors want to expect the actions from. I see a lot of portfolio managers holding on to that stock to benefit from being shareholders by the time the rights issue takes place. And that gives them the right opportunity to be able to sell down whatever excess holdings they feel they may have in their portfolio.